Hi there, I'm Wayne Purser, your host of Spotlight on Edmonds Real Estate. This program is going to be about educating buyers and sellers on the current real estate market. I work for Coldwell Banker Bain Real Estate Services, downtown Edmonds, just footsteps from the fountain. Been there my 15th year and helping people in the local community. Today we're going to be talking about Fairway Mortgage. I have a friend here, Thomas Fadden. He's going to talk about what's happening in the mortgage industry. We're also going to have the Edmonds Real Estate Weather Report on how the market is performing. And also last, we'll be closing with Ask Wayne a Question from the person on the street. So right now we're going to get started with Thomas Fadden with Fairway Mortgage. Welcome, Thomas.
Thank you, Wayne. Thanks for having me today.
Great. So the mortgage industry has changed quite a bit since the downturn of 2008 through 2012. Why don't you get us caught up a little bit on what's been happening?
Yeah, you're right. We had a challenging last 6 or 7 years, and things are starting to look like we're coming out of the woods. Some of the things that have changed recently over the last couple of years is down payment, abilities to put down less money to purchase a house. If you have really good credit, you can put down as little as 3% now. 5%, 10% are also options below the 20% goal that a lot of people have to put down a house, but definitely not necessary.
Right, because I've had people walk by our office in downtown here and say, well, I can't afford a house because I have to put 20% down.
Yeah, that's a myth that's gone away at this point. It's getting, but it's taking time to get that word out that because people still kind of believe that
Right.
that you would have to put down more to buy a house.
Okay. The other two things I'd like to talk about, one is about VA loans and then also credit scores. So what about VAs?
VA loans are hands down the best loan available in America, which as they should be for our veterans coming back from serving their country and getting that opportunity to purchase a house with literally zero out of pocket, where they can put zero down on the purchase of a house, as you know, can have the seller pay for those closing costs within the purchase of the house. So zero out of pocket going into a house and having no mortgage insurance, which is another key factor for a VA loan.
Right. And people do ask me, well, I can't afford a house. I don't have what my credit score is. How easy it is for people to find out about that?
Just a phone call to me and I can get their credit report pulled.
Okay. And current interest rates, what's happening there?
Interest rates are trending in the low 4% range, low, in the fours. And it's going to depend upon what the Federal Reserve decides to do over the next 6 months as far as raising interest rates. We're approaching June, so the June meeting that's coming up that was rumored to be the time when Feds were going to raise rates, and now they're pushing that projection to September or maybe as late as December at the end of this year.
Right, but it looks like they'll still be under at least 5% for the next 6 months to a year?
Yeah, educated guess, I would say, yeah, we're going to see rates trending in the 4 to 5% range, but very, very volatile. The market is extremely volatile as we hear blips about the economy improving and maybe not doing as well as people think it is. It just depends upon what camp you come from.
Right, right. So, and people want to know, how do I apply for a mortgage? I know technology has changed quite a bit for a lot of industries.
Absolutely. Technology has changed, but as a good business person, I really still try to attempt a face-to-face interview with my clients. So there are easy ways to take a loan application, as in gathering the information over the phone or online or whatever's convenient for people. We do a lot of technology, loans for technology people here in the Northwest. So some people just want to go on your website and fill it out. But we always want to offer the client the ability to sit down face-to-face with us, because I still think, as you agree, in the real estate business, it's important to sit down with your clients and not just send them off to a website.
Right, and that's what you and I have been working together for several years, and we've had some easy transactions, but we've also had some challenging transactions with people wanting to set up before they can purchase, their 6 months to a year out. How do you counsel people like that?
I highly encourage people, even if you're just thinking about buying a house today and you may not buy for a couple of years, get in touch with a mortgage professional like myself that can pull your credit report and sit down with you and give you some counsel on what you need to be doing. Even if your situation is perfect, there's still some tips that I can give you between now and the time that you go to purchase that will make your actual purchase process go that much more smoothly, because of the fact that it's really important to prepare.
Right, prepare and pre-plan. So in closing here, what would be some three top things that you'd want people to know?
Well, I think probably the most important thing right now is preparing. And just like you, if somebody said, I'm going to be selling my house in a few years, it's not a bad idea to sit down and talk with you about what they can be doing to prepare their house for sale. And that same preparation is important in the mortgage industry. So preparing, which along with the preparing, checking your credit and being able to help them with the direction of their credit and what they can be doing to improve their credit. And then along with that counsel would come down payment type discussions on how they're going to get their down payment and some of the preparations that they can do for that. So that preparation key is probably the most important thing that could cover all three important items that you're asking about.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show. That concludes our guest of the month, Thomas Fadden from Fairway Mortgage. Now we're going to move on to Spotlight on Edmonds Real Estate Weather Report. What we're going to be talking about is a temperature gauge. An average market is 4, 5, or 6 months is an average time. If it's less than 4 months, we have a seller's market. If we have more than 6 months into 7, it's a buyer's market. So during the downturn in the late 2008, 9, 10, 11, it was definitely a buyer's market. But today, since low inventory, it is considered a seller's market. In Edmonds last month in April, there were 96 sales. This is condominium and residential sales. And currently we have 142 listings that are active right now. Interest rates are flat, not moving anywhere, but our days on market is 36 days right now. If homes are priced well, they're selling within the first 2 to 3 weeks. So that gives us a temperature of 88 degrees. So that means that we just have just over a month of inventory that's out there today. In South Snohomish County, recorded 327 sales in April of 2015. That's up from a year ago. Current listings are down from a year ago. And days on market is 26 days, which means it's a sizzling 92 degrees. It's a very hot market in South Snohomish County. Moving on to Shoreline, they had 92 sales last month in April, which was over the total sales for 2014. Current listings, 66, is down from a year ago. That's giving us a weather report of 88 degrees. So it's still hot. All 3 areas are still seller's market. That's all for the Edmonds Real Estate Weather Report. And now we're going to take a question from the person on the street.
Wayne, tell me about multiple real estate offers in Edmonds.
Great. That's a great question. Multiple offers can be exciting for the sellers and very nervous reactions from buyers, because if there's more than one, the prices may escalate up. So for the sellers, they're concerned about which buyer do I choose, which offer do I choose, and that's all going to depend on financing, dollar amount, will the house appraise, and so there's a lot of questions that the real estate professional needs to educate the seller with. As for a buyer, only one person wins. The rest of them will have to go on to another house. So for them to put their mortgage together, their offer, their terms, it's not always cash that wins. It also can be terms. How soon they want to move in, do they need some closing costs? So as a buyer, you want to counsel with your real estate professional on how's the best way to present your offer. So thanks again for the question. Well, that wraps up this month's edition of Spotlight on Edmonds Real Estate. We look forward to you joining us again next month.